Peace. What's up, guys? It's your boy Jay. That's me. Let's talk about and discuss Monday Night Raw from February the 6th, 2023. This was a solid show. We had a lot of star power on this show. Edge and Beth Phoenix. Lita coming in the main event between Becky Lynch and Bayley. Brock Lesnar showing up. And Cody. So we had some pretty good star power on this show. This was a solid show. So, we kicked the show off with Edge and Beth Phoenix. They got a tremendous pop when they came out. Tremendous pop. So, we are shown highlights of what happened with the Judgment Day and Edge feud so far. And we are shown Beth Phoenix being concertoed by Rhea Ripley back in October at Extreme Rules. So Edge gets on the mic and says it feels damn good to be back. But they're not only back for one reason. They're back for only one reason, that being Judgment Day. So Edge continues to talk about Judgment Day and how they're all doing much better than they were a year ago, which is true. He even put over Dominic Mysterio, which is saying a lot, because I do feel that the most two over in the group are Dom and Rhea. Those are the main two that are over. So Edge says they battled for the last year, all leading up to Extreme Rules, and he knew then that Finn Balor didn't have what it takes physically to make him say he quits. But the minute he saw Rhea, saw his wife, he knew what was happening, and he's not the kind of man who feels helpless. So Edge gives Judgment Day a golf clap and congratulates them. Then the fans, they chant, you still got it. Edge says he never lost it, which is facts. Edge says they made a bad problem even worse because he's cruel, sick, because he's a cruel, sick, and vindictive bastard who will sink to any level to get his pound of flesh. Bev says they're going to cut right to the chase. If you got the Stones, Rhea, and Balor, my husband and I are here to finish this. So out comes the Judgment Day without Rhea. So Balor says he knows it's a pattern. Edge keeps making triumphant returns, but the Judgment Day keeps beating him down. Finn says it might be time for Edge to quit. Dom informs him how he served hard time, and he'll use some of his prison tricks on them if they don't back off, just like he did his deadbeat dad, who didn't even make it to the Royal Rumble. So Damian, he talks about how they're coming back, but next time, how they keep coming back, but next time, Extreme Rules will look like child's play. Priest continues on, saying how he's going to qualify for the Elimination Chamber. But he can't talk straight. He calls it Money in the Bank. He says that he hates Edge so much that he can't even talk straight. And then Priest declares that he'll become WWE champion. The United States champion once again. So Dom, he wishes that Mommy could be there, but she's traveling the world promoting WWE. Edge continues to, he interrupts and he insults the Judgment Day, saying that Priest is better than just following Balor around like a giant Labrador. He calls Balor a dollar store version of Marijuana. I have no idea what the fuck that is. It's virtual insanity, kids. He tells everybody to Google it, which I am going to Google it. Edge says the biggest difference between you and me is that we truly have each other's backs. You all would chop each other quicker than Dominic dropped his pants in the clink. Really good stuff right there. I love that. That was hilarious. Really good shit right there from Edge. So Edge continues on and says it's fitting how many times Dom has screwed over his father, Rey Mysterio. There was also a sign in the crowd that said Eddie is Dominic's real father. That was pretty cool right there. Edge says wait until Rey, he can't wait until Rey snaps and 619's Dominic's teeth down his stupid throat. So Beth Phoenix, she says she doesn't buy that Rhea's on a promotional tour. It's more likely due to the fact that she got speared at the Rumble. Beth said she didn't come to talk tonight. She came to kick Rhea's ass. So Beth then lays down a mixed tag between her and Edge versus Balor and Ripley. So Finn asked Dominic what if he thinks that Rhea would be all in, and he says yes. So Balor then accepts the challenge, and then Balor says that's if that's if Beth and Edge make it to the chamber. So they start to surround Edge, and then they all rush the ring, beat down Edge, but Angela Dawkins makes the save. So there's a brawl that breaks out between the two. That sets up for our first match of the night, which is the men's qualifier for the Elimination Chamber. Damian Priest versus Angela Dawkins. Damian Priest wins via South of Heaven, so he qualifies. So we've got our 5 competitors. We're only missing 1. So the match was good, and I enjoyed it. And it seems like Angelo Dawkins is coming into his own, and the guy is getting better each and every week. I love the throw that he did to Damian on the announce table. That was awesome right there. Great stuff. So, Austin Theory, he pulls up, driving a black Lamborghini. So you know he's making some money. So, Adam Pearce, he's backstage. He's signing the Mel Maxwell models to contracts. So, they're now on Raw. So, Pearce stated that he heard that Dupree has had big plans for Mansois and Messi. And she has big plans for them. So, Chelsea Green walks in and asks if Pearce is the manager. He turns back and he excuses Maximum Male Models. Pearce then asks Green if they she was complaining about not getting her chocolates last week. She asked for fresh spring water and Swiss chocolate. Pearce said they had it delivered to her last week. She said it was Belgium chocolate, not Swiss. She knows the difference because she's been to Belgium. Yeah, I doubt you have been to Belgium. I really doubt that, Chelsea Green. Moving on. So Chelsea says she wanted to speak to Pearce about how she's not in the women's Elimination Chamber when she can beat the other entrants. Pearce says, with all due respect, she didn't last 5 minutes in the Rumble. So Chelsea then threatens to call Pearce's manager. Green says she has family in attendance tonight, and she deserves a match. And she should be presented like a big star that she is. Green says Pearce needs to make this right, or one phone call. She'll make one phone call and cost him his job, and then so she dips out. I don't understand why Chelsea Green isn't on NXT. That's where she should be. Nobody remembers Chelsea Green. She's been gone for well over a year. I remember her because I follow Impact, and she was basically just doing Impact and GCW stuff for a year and a half. So I don't understand what she's doing on the main roster. It's just better for her to be back in NXT, stay about a good six months to a year, and then come back to the main roster. Seriously, it makes no sense. Johnny Gargano, he's backstage with Dexter Lumis. So that leads us into our next match. Baron Corbin versus Dexter Lumis. Dexter Lumis wins via a side slam in the middle of the ring. So JBL post-match is extremely disappointed, and he's pissed. So he just dips out. So Becky Lynch, she's backstage with Byron Saxton. She talks about how all that started in Orlando. She recalls how a young Becky was sweet and just wanted to be great by attaching herself to any Rocket for success. She was a hugger and gave everyone high fives. Becky wanted to be great back then, but then she kicked down doors and took names to become the man of the industry. Bayley hasn't liked her, and she's attached to Becky and separated her shoulder. So Lynch said she'll teach Bayley how, to never talk about her family again. But with all that aside, Becky says she has a game plan for the night. She gets the steel cage match she wanted. Becky tells Bayley to bring her little friends and tricks tonight because Lynch has one hand she hasn't played yet. Tonight will be the night she plays it. So that was interesting. So Becky dips out. Next, Brock Lesnar. He comes out. Great pop, as usual. So Lesnar gets on the mic, thanks everyone. He says that he appreciates them. Lesnar asked if we saw the Royal Rumble. Lesnar says he saw it. He said it sucked, for him at least. He got his ass thrown over the top rope. But that's not the worst of it. He got tossed up by Bobby Lashely. Lesnar apologizes for not being there last week, but he had to get his head together. He says Lashley finally struck a chord with Lesnar. All last week, he couldn't stop thinking about Lashley, even hunting. The next day, he wanted to go ice fishing. But all he could think about was Bobby Who. He sat down for a big steak dinner. All he could think about was Bobby Lashely. He even crawled into bed at night with his wife. But about 4 or 5 hours later, all he could think about was Lashley. So he came up with a resolution. A violent resolution, but still a resolution. Lesnar says his $5 denim jacket is a multi-million contract. It states that Bobby Lashley versus Lesnar will take place at WWE Elimination Chamber. Lesnar says if Lashley has a set of balls, he'll come out and sign this contract. So Lashley comes out. He gets in the ring with a nice suit on. Saying that it's nice that Brock is graced with his presence. Lashley didn't even know Lesnar would be here, but since he is, let's walk down memory lane. Lashley says he pinned Lesnar in their first match. Lesnar won their second match, but Lashley still left him laying unconscious as he was left in the ring. So the third meeting, when we meet face to face at the Royal Rumble, Lashley tossed Lesnar from the ring with no problem. Lashley says things will be done under his terms now. He's taking this contract. He's going to take this contract to let his agent and manager look at it, then make his lawyer look at it, and then he'll get back to Brock and take into consideration. So Lesnar, he's all smiles and he laughs. Bobby steps to him and asks if he's surprised if Bobby Who has one up on you. So Lashley wags his finger in Lesnar's face. He turns around, walks away. Lesnar F5s Lashley. He places the contract on Lashley's on Lashley. He begins to take the mic. So the fans want one more F5. Lesnar gets the fans what they want. You got to. And he F5s Lashley again. So this is decent. I like this, but I don't know why we're getting this at Elimination Chamber and not WrestleMania. I'm guessing we might get a fourth match at, we might get, a fourth match. Because obviously, what's cool that I like about it is that Lashley's playing the heel, which is great, and Lesnar's playing the babyface, which is great. So, we could see a reuniting of the Hurt Business. That very well could happen, because he mentioned his manager and everything else, his lawyer, that being MVP. So, I'm excited for this. I was just thinking that it was going to be like, I was thinking it was going to be at WrestleMania, but it is what it is. So, Candice LeRae, she's backstage when Gargano and Loomis walk up. So, Gargano hypes up his wife for the Elimination Chamber qualifier. They present Candice with a new drawing from Dexter Loomis. So, Candice says she loves it and asked if this is the whole family, but then she notices the other woman is Nikki Cross, so she's heard laughing in the background for whatever reason. And then Candice notices that Nikki Cross is watching her in the background. So, Candice is looking for Nikki Cross to talk to her for a second, but Nikki just laughs and dips out. So, the Fatal 4-Way Women's Elimination Qualifier match, Carmella, Mia Yim, a.k.a. Michin, Candice LeRae, Piper Niven. Carmella wins, which is fine. Baron Corbin, he is backstage with JBL. JBL is pissed off with Baron Corbin. So Corbin, he's ready to go out on the town. JBL says there's no we now. JBL says he was must-watch TV, but Corbin is must-change TV. 1,000% correct. JBL goes on berating Corbin, knocking him down, and says his own Hall of Fame career has lost credibility thanks to Corbin. JBL says Corbin is not a modern-day wrestling god. He's a clown. JBL says Corbin does not belong next to him. Corbin asks, where is this coming from? And he says that he'll do better. JBL says, you can't polish a turd. So JBL walks off, and Corbin is sad. He's like distraught. And I'm loving this. This is fucking great. This is great. This is great. This is great. It makes sense. Look, the Baron Corbin character was at his best when he was the Lone Wolf. He could have also been at his best if they would have kept with the bum-ass, homeless Baron Corbin. But they decided to shoot that down. But this has arguably been the worst character of Baron Corbin thus far. It really, truly has. And I'm glad that JBL has basically kicked Baron Corbin to the curb. And hopefully he can find somebody who he can manage and mold in the right direction. I don't know who that could be on the Raw roster. I really don't. But if they can find him and they can pair him up with JBL, they're made. It'll be gold for them. It'll be golden. All right. So, for whatever reason, Piper Niven, she confronts Candice LeRae. So, she's shoving her against a stack of production cases. So, Piper rants on how she should have been the one going to WrestleMania 39. Mia Yim shows up and gets between them. Piper tells them to back off. Niven says they're both very lucky. If they get in her way of the Raw Women's title again, she won't be so forgiving. And Piper walks off. So I have no idea why they're doing this. It makes no sense. We all know that Piper Niven's not really going to do anything right now. Sending with Candice LeRae and Mia Yim, a.k.a. Michin. So, turning her name back from Dewdrop to Piper Niven isn't really going to do anything for her. It's just not. Next, the Alpha Academy versus Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander. It never fails. Every damn week. We always see Chad Gable. What in the hell is on Triple H's mind? Every damn week, bruh. Seriously. It's ridiculous at this point. It's utterly ridiculous. Enough of this Chad Gable stuff. I like Gable. He's cool. And he has an okay character. But damn, every single fucking week. And he's not doing anything meaningful. He and Otis aren't doing anything meaningful. It would be better, and I've said this in my reviews as of late for Raw, that they should send Alpha Academy down to NXT for a while. They did it to New Day. Why can't they do it for Alpha Academy, who isn't over? The only one that's over out of the two is Otis. But, so, Cedric Alexander, he gets the win via the lumbar check. So that was great. And MVP, Benjamin, and Alexander, they all celebrate. So that's cool. So I'm digging that. Rick Boogs, he's backstage. Kathy Kelly, she's back. She's outside of Adam Pearce's office. She's wanting to get Miz's reaction to Boogs' return. Miz says he'll be happy to give his reaction to Pierce along with the bill of damages to the $10,000 suit his wife bought him. Damn, Maurice got some guap. But why wouldn't they? They're both millionaires. Moving on. So Miz continues ranting and isn't impressed that Boogs can bench so much. So Boogs comes out of Pierce's office, says he's playing it cool. Just happy to be united with the Boogs crew of the WWE Universe. Miz tells them to cut the crap. Miz says he would have won last week if he was dressed properly. And Boogs knows it. He says Boogs is lucky that Pierce is lazy and incompetent. Oh, comedic gold, man. Comedic gold. Pierce comes out of his office behind Miz as he rants. So Pierce tells Miz to be careful what he wishes for. And if he asked for a rematch, all he had to do was ask. So Pierce asked Boogs about the rematch and then booked it for next week. Boogs is hyped up as he walks off. Miz walks away, but he's not so happy. Chelsea Green, she then enters in the picture again. She says she says he needs to find her an opponent or she's going to call his manager. So Chelsea Green, she's standing in the ring waiting for her opponent, and it's Asuka with her new Kana look, which I love. And Asuka gets the win, but surrounding the ring are Natalya, Nikki Cross, Carmella, basically all the women from the Elimination Chamber that have already qualified. Liv Morgan. Who else? Oh, yeah. Raquel Rodriguez. So basically, Asuka wins via I'm guessing the Asuka. Yeah, she wins via the Asuka lock. So I love how she locked it in beautifully. So basically, Bianca Belair, she comes out and she says she wants you all to take a good look in the mirror and tell her what you see, because she sees top tier women in the WWE. I do not. Outside of Asuka and Raquel Rodriguez, no. You all have mid-carders. But who has what it takes to win the Elimination Chamber and go toe-to-toe with the EST of WWE? Belair says that Bianca says she was in their position last year. So she knows what it takes to win, because that's how she got this title. Belair wishes them all good luck. And whoever makes it out of the chamber, she will be ready to see them at WrestleMania. And then Belair then raises the title in the air and dips out. So I'm liking this so far. My two picks to win the Women's Chamber are either going to be Asuka or Raquel Rodriguez. Those are my only two picks, and those two make sense. And I'm fine with either or. I feel like either match would bang. Asuka and Bianca would be tremendous. Same with Bianca and Raquel. So either or would be home runs. Next, my boy, your boy, Cody Rhodes. He's out next. And this is where it gets juicy in the promo department. So, Cody Rhodes, his new stick seems to be, he asked the fans what they want to talk about. So he says he used his interview time last week to discuss the WrestleMania 39 match against Roman Reigns, his current opponent. So the fans, they chant for Sami. And Cody says the fans read his mind, as he said his current opponent for a reason. Cody talks up Sami Zayn and mentions Zayn versus Reigns title match at the Elimination Chamber. So fans, they continue to chant Sami, and Cody Rhodes says it's looking more and more like he'll be challenging Zayn at WrestleMania. Cody mentions being friends with Zayn and then wishes him good luck. He says he hopes the best man wins in Montreal. Out comes Paul Heyman. He gets on the mic. And he asks Cody if he could step into the ring. Cody says one day Cody may find out, hopefully not at Heyman's expense, but one day that life is at the top of this. Life at the top of this industry requires an understanding that that the only week busier than the week leading into a major event like the Rumble or WrestleMania is the week coming out of a major event. Paul says that the tribal chief and himself have had a lot on their plate, and admittedly, some things fell through the cracks, but now Heyman and Reigns want to congratulate Cody on his Royal Rumble win. Heyman shakes hands with Rhodes and says that he deserves the win. So the fans chant Cody and you deserve it. Cody says his dad and his brother both had nicknames for Heyman, but he'll just call him Mr. Heyman because he has a immense respect for Paul Heyman, and Heyman knows why. So Rhodes goes on and recalls a story from 2000. His family went broke. They just had $100 in a bank account for all of them. Damn. And he mentions the hard times from us, saying that, that this wasn't a promo. His dad was doing commercials for a local car company, but not for money, but so he could keep his car. So there's a dusty tent that breaks out. Cody says, then Heyman called Dusty, said ECW was in town, and that if Dusty would agree to appear on ECW television, Heyman would pay him and pay him well. So there's an ECW tent that breaks out. Cody says Heyman kept his word. In addition, the money they sorely needed. ECW gave Dusty his confidence back, and he couldn't thank Heyman enough for that. Cody continues on and says that before coming back to WWE, he was somewhere else causing trouble. So nodding at AEW, which was good, and the Indies as well. From one disruptor to another, Heyman showed him the way. So Cody thanks Paul Heyman, and a big thank you, Paul chant break out. So Heyman tells Cody that he's good and that he caught Heyman off guard. And Heyman gets a little bit teary-eyed. Heyman says he came out to smooth a little business, but Cody got him personally. So Heyman says, if we're shooting from the hip, then let's do it all the way. Paul says this isn't about him or Dusty. It's about Cody, everything he's fought for. Heyman talks about Cody fighting for that WrestleMania match, but he says he's not just doing that. He's trying to make the title the biggest he's trying to take the title from the biggest box office attraction, Roman Reigns. Heyman wonders how Cody will perform under the pressure and says no one ever prepared him for that. Heyman says right down the road is the WWE Performance Center where Cody's father trained and prepped the biggest stars of this generation. Names like Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch, Bayley, Kevin Owens, and even the Tribal Chief. But he didn't prep you, Heyman. Meaning Cody Rhodes as the you. Heyman goes on and says maybe Dusty didn't want Cody to go through life as his son. He wanted Cody to go through life as Cody. WrestleMania main eventer who dethroned Roman Reigns. Maybe. So Heyman goes on and says he can't tell Cody how much he loved his father and how much Dusty loved Cody, but he can tell Cody this one personally. Heyman says his last conversation with Dusty, he said Cody was his favorite son, but Roman was the son he always wanted. And I'm like, oh shit. When he said those words, I'm already emotionally invested. I'm all in. I am all in. I'm all in. This is fucking phenomenal. So Heyman gets on the mic. No, Cody gets on the mic, grabs Heyman's hand. My bad. Cody gets on the mic and he grabs Paul Heyman's hand and shakes it, and he tightens the grip. Cody says he's just trying to win a wrestling championship, but everyone wants to make it personal. And that's just what Heyman did. But Heyman won't pay for it. His boy Roman will at WrestleMania, when he takes those titles from Roman personally. Damn. Fucking phenomenal. And I cannot wait until we get to Roman Cody. This match at Mania is going to be tremendous. The story is already solid. I'm already sold on it. And I cannot wait until we get Roman involved in this. This is just the appetizer. We ain't got to the main course. We ain't got to dessert. This is just an appetizer. And I cannot wait. This is phenomenal. This is absolutely amazing. Great promo. Montez Ford versus Elias, men's Elimination Chamber qualifying match. Montez Ford wins via the Frog Splash, so the U.S. title picture for the Chamber is set. And it looks to be pretty decent. You could go with Montez Ford, you can go with Bronson Reed, or you can go with Austin Theory retaining. I don't know what they're going to do, but yeah. Austin Theory was on commentary, and then post-match, Seth Rollins came from behind, out of the crowd. He does a chop block, taking out Theory, and then he hits the stomp, and then he walks out. And then the main event, steel cage match, Becky Lynch versus Bayley. So this was a decent match. Towards the end of the match, Damage Control members Io Sky and Dakota Kai, that got involved, but out of nowhere, Lita made her triumphant return and took out Io and scared Dakota Kai, causing Becky to win the match via the manhandle slam. And Becky and Lita, they celebrate. So that was pretty cool. Now, this match isn't, now this feud is not over with, because Bayley and Becky have to kind of be tied at the hip, because what else can they do? So we might have to go into a fourth match. We might have to go to a fourth gear, because we have to have those two women at WrestleMania. We have to. So I don't think that feud is over with by a long shot. So on that note, thank you guys for watching. Please hit the like button, comment down below, and subscribe for more videos. Raw was solid. We got to see Brock Lesnar, the phenomenal Cody and Paul Heyman promo. That was great. And Lita returning. That was cool. So Raw was solid. It was a solid show. So let me know what you guys thought of the show, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.